floats down and you'll float too. In fact, they all float. They all float. And then you'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. I'm sorry if that just gave you a shock. My apologies. And yes, seeing me without my beautiful glasses is very weird, isn't it? Sorry. Nah, I'm gonna go do the review wearing these glasses, eh? That would be terrifying, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's why we're doing the review in complete darkness, obviously. I like my... Oh my god! Oh my... Holy guacamole! It's a Halloween review with bright lights. Oh no! It's meant to be creepy, Robert. Actually, I can't see a damn thing with these because I'm partially blind. I know, right? So, I'll just put on these. Da-da-da-da! Yes. If you didn't guess it from me quoting Pennywise the Dancing Clown, we're reviewing It, the new 2017 adaptation of It, to be more precise. Which I, like many others, has been anticipating, because the original It wasn't one of the best movies. Even though Mr. Tim Curry as Pennywise was really good. Because Tim Curry is a fine actor, if you didn't realise. Like, for crying out loud. This is... Oh, shit. This is what he looks like in the movie. In the original movie. Yeah. That can have some lasting impacts on you as you grow up. I remember seeing the poster for it way back in the year 2000 and something, called 2010. I think it was 2010 actually, which basically had the original mini-series Pennywise. Looks like he teared a hole through the poster, and it says, "The master of horror unleashes everything you were ever afraid of," which he does say in the movie. "I am everything you ever were afraid of. I am your worst nightmare. I am your worst nightmare. Your worst dream come true. I am everything you were ever afraid of." Yeah, and it has the Stephen King's It with that iconic font as well. But we're not here to talk about that memorable classic and actually very funny. Yeah, because I only saw the poster for a while. I thought it looked really creepy, so I didn't want to see it. I wanted to forget it even existed. Yes, that's how much that poster scared the living daylights out of me. No. Then I watched it, and it's absolutely hilarious, because Tim Curry's an absolute fine actor. He is. And the kids did well, and I like the adults more than some people do. But we're not here to talk about that memorable miniseries. We're here to talk about, you guessed it, it's in the title, You should know this by now. The new It. You know, if you've never actually heard of the fact that they made a new version of It, then you're basically stupid. This version is directed by Andres Muschietti, with starring Sophia Lewis as Beverly Marsh, Bill Skarsgård at what they call It, but I like to call Pennywise the Clown, and several other people, and one of the kids from Stranger Things, which I kept on saying is basically Stephen King's It, just without any clown. And if you haven't heard of the basic plot, I'll give you the rundown. 7 young outcasts in Derry. Guess where it's set? Which state in America was Stephen King born? Now, I might actually do like a... Now, it might appear on either of my fingers, either which of my fingers, a poll for you to vote on. What state this Stephen King story is set in. It's a very hard guess, it is. It's very hard. It is. It's very hard. You don't... It's not like you can look it up and find out what town he was born in. Obviously not. Like clearly, you do not have to do that. Yes, you do. Okay. Have you done that? Good. Maine! Who would have thought are about to face their worst nightmare? An ancient, shape-shifting evil that emerges from a sewer every 27 years to eat the town's children. And they decide this shit is weird, and usually the evil turns into the clown, so they decide to defeat this clown by overcoming their own personal fears that are maybe even worse than the clown. Ooh, isn't that scary? Known only as Pennywise, or It. Yes. I preferred the miniseries. This is good. Spoiler alert, it's good. That's my final thoughts on it. But the miniseries may be garbage, but I think it's so bad it's good. This miniseries is totally inconsistent because unlike this movie has the horrifying bits and then the comedy or light-hearted and happy bits or romantic bits after it, when in the original it was the opposite. The horror came after all that stuff. Like, oh, we're friends, we're on our old bikes that we used to play around together with, and then everything's lovely and happy, and we get a pack of cards, and guess what? And then boom, smacked into the horror reality we are in right now. And Pennywise the Clown is on the deck of cards, which is actually legit creepy. That's what I like about the original. This one, I have to admit, the kids did a really good job. And even on set, they got terrified of Pennywise. Because little kids would be absolutely shitting their pants if that was their clown at their birthday party. And I found this to be a more faithful adaptation in it. But unfortunately, they missed out on the gangbang. Should have not said that, Robert. This is on the internet. Nah, I found this one to be really good. It was well paced. Some of the scenes are legit creepy. The Leaper one didn't make any sense because I've watched the other movie and it never mentioned anything about the Jewish kid. I'm gonna call him Kyle because South Park reference. Haha, you should find that funny. Definitely, shouldn't you? Yes, you should. Yeah, and it's set in the 80s, which it's the most non-80s looking movie ever. Well, except for the fact that Henry Bowers does not have a mullet. It has a mullet. And he is very, very mentally disturbed in this film. So is his comrades. They're absolutely awful people, which I didn't really like because they weren't fleshed out. But I guess they're meant to be some of the fears that Pennywise uses. Speaking of Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård tried to do his own interpretation of Pennywise. I thought it was good. But then I realised, wait a second, Pennywise isn't meant to lure children to their doom. Not show them, woo, I'm a creepy clown, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna eat you up. Yeah, like that's gonna actually lure children. Like if they saw that in real life, they would probably be running to the hills and doing the smart decision. Which I know it's a horror film, but you gotta have some sort of reality. The original one had Pennywise as an actual clown, he didn't look like a demonic clown. He could fit in an actual circus. That was what made him terrifying. Which, yeah, he actually makes jokes, which kind of makes him a bit more scary. Yeah, I thought this was good. It was a very character-driven story, though the ending was a little bit predictable, and I have to save the girl of the group because, friendship and shit. And that dancing scene, let's be honest. So, obviously the internet was going to munch that up and make it and spurt it out into a meme. It was going to happen whether you liked it or not. Yes, and at the end of the credits it said, Chapter 1, Losers Club, which means they're going to definitely, and seeing the box office, which is $35 million US dollars, they're definitely going to make a sequel to this immediately. I'm also seeing all the reviews on this, and even one from Screen Rank that basically clickbaits me into thinking they're about ranks, but in actual fact they're just about reviewing stuff. Yeah. And everybody's liking this film. I assume more so than the original one. Let me see if the original one gets a high Rotten Tomatoes score. Called it! It doesn't have a high Rotten Tomatoes score. I knew that would happen. I'm so clever. Yeah, I found that very disturbing. So, what have we learnt today? Well, that the original is superior to the new one, and the new one is inferior to the original. That's usually what happens, but I'm not saying it was bad. I was saying it was alright. It wasn't as good as many people made it out to be. It's meh. It's not my favourite. It's not my favourite film, but it's not the scariest horror film ever. To quote the Nostalgia Critics review of it, both of them were good in their own way. Both of them are the definitive Pennywise. Skarsgård and Curry are both the definitive Pennywise. But Tim was a sweet transvestite from the planet Transylvania, so that's kind of in his favour. And Skarsgård, I haven't seen anything by Skarsgård recently outside of it. So next time, what am I gonna review? Who the fuck knows? And most importantly, who the fuck cares? So I'll see you in the next video, where I'll be talking about, I don't know, the end of the world. Which, oh yes, fundamentally, okay, I'll end this video right now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.